All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Back again with another stream with my man PYS. It's another preview. We've got this game, the second leg for the Spurs versus Chelsea Carabao Cup second leg coming up tomorrow. This time, somewhere around this time, tomorrow. I think it's 7:45 UK time, so more or less around this time. But before we get into all of that, PYS, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. So we're back on the channel. Hopefully tomorrow night will be a good night. I'm actually really looking forward to the game. I really am. I like when we play at the Tottenham Stadium. I always feel like we're gonna win. So yeah, I'm quietly confident. I just hope I don't jinx it and we play really bad and then somehow Spurs win. But I mean, Heung-min Son's out as well, so I guess that's a massive advantage for us. That's huge actually. I think he's probably their best player. I think you got Kane, but Son is just Son's so good.
No, for me, I have to agree with you. Son is massive part for them. Not only that he scores, but in tandem, he gets the best out of Kane as well. He provides a lot of assists, and vice versa. Kane does the same thing for Son. So not having Son, I don't know where they're going to get those goals and assists from the goal contribution. So we'll see. I don't want to jinx it, but you're right. It is a blockbuster game once again. Hopefully we win this and go into the final, and it's a cup, hopefully, that we can look forward to. We've got the 2-0 first leg victory. And Thomas Tuchel was talking about in the press conference, or he was asked about, complacency and whatnot. But I'm confident, PYS. Like, I'm moving into this game, as you said, you're very confident at the Tottenham Stadium as well. But I'm just confident that for them to turn around that first leg, they're going to need something monumental, man. Like, they did not play well in that first leg. We were all over them, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, the big thing with us is, I feel like we'll keep possession quite well, especially, if Jorginho comes back into the side. Obviously, there's not doubts, but there's questions over Kante. I mean, he trained today, but, if Jorginho can come back in, get control of the game, I think Tuchel mentioned in his presser that he wants to gain control of the game and attack them. So I think if we dominate the game, if we set the tone early from first minute like we did at home, I think it'll be a comfortable night for us. We just got to say something defensively. It's the thing as well is I don't think Tuchel's the guy to let up. He clearly said in the press conference, we've not even got 1 foot in the final. It's a completely off game.
Yeah,
we need to forget the first leg.
When
he says that sort of thing, it makes me feel confident because I know he said that to the players as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tuchel won't just come in and waffle in the press conference. I know he said that to the players. And the mentality you'll see tomorrow night, I think, hopefully, that we're just a cut above Spurs.
No, 100%, man. And obviously, we're going to talk about the lineups and whatnot. And, Saul needs to be in the mix as well in terms of having control. He played brilliantly for that first leg. But before we get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen, quite a few people are on already. Please smash the like button as you're coming through. Very important to the growth of the channel. As you guys can see, we're less than 500 subscribers away from the big milestone for this particular channel, 10,000 subscribers, which is huge. So smash the like button, get those likes up. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well, and check out PYS and his socials, please. Make sure each and every one of you guys are always following him. As I always like to do before we start the particular show, shout out to everyone that's joined. Sai Krishna, thank you so much for joining, my man. Declan in Ireland, hey guys, waiting patiently. Declan in Ireland was waiting for at least an hour. Thank you so much, my man. And he's also saying, I was hoping that we would have a new left wing back in for this game. I guess not. We will talk about in detail about this. I want to hear what PYS has to say as well. I'm pretty sure he's got a bit of opinion on that. Tony Chelsea, guys, check the news about Haaland. We'll have a look into that. Clement, C, Kante and Silva returned. Lateness is greatness of CNF. I don't think we were late. We were on time. Nash, thank you so much for joining. 3 Point Lane. Mr. Rich, hello, Miz. Sportswire, hey all, how you doing, my man? Faz Fardin, I bet PYS looks like Yunus. I bet he doesn't, Faz.
I'm English. I don't think Eunice is English, right?
English. Yeah, I mean, Yunus, even though he's a citizen of England, but he's got Algerian background. Yeah, good to see all you guys. Really, really good to see you. POS, let's get straight into this. Before we get into this particular match, press conference, and the lineups and whatnot, Adam Lucas is saying, shout out to Adam Lucas as well, Dembele to Chelsea thoughts. I'm seeing this floating around quite a bit, PYS, and I'm not really entertaining it now because it's not really a January situation, more of a summer thing. But even for summer, PYS, I'm not too keen on this, man, because it's another injury-prone player. I'm not sure whether he's gotten over his injuries. In Barcelona, it still seems to be the same situation. I know he's back now, but his career in Barcelona has been marred with injuries. Career in Dortmund as well has been marred with injuries. He's a talented player, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we've got injury players. Like, why are we adding more injury-prone players? What's your thoughts about this, man?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really disagree with you, to be honest. It just feels like another one that if we sign him, it will be eventually that he'll have a lot of talent, kind of like the Pulisic situation, but he's even more injury prone than Pulisic, like genuinely. And I think I would have thought that's impossible with the amount of Pulisic is injured. But I mean, this Dembele guy is literally always injured. I mean, he's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. Like, he is so talented on the ball. He's quick. He's fast. He's one of the most two-footed players in the world as well. So you can play left or right. Like, yeah, he's really unstoppable sometimes when he plays. But I don't really think it makes sense. I mean, he'll be on big wages as well.
Do you think he's good with his finishing, POS?
No, I think that's one of his downfalls, actually, is inconsistent finishing. A lot of the times he smashes them so hard where he just, he doesn't really place them as such. And I mean, when he tries to place them, I remember the one-on-one against Liverpool at the Camp Nou in the Champions League where they squared it across Dembele. It should be a 3 or 4-0, I think, and he literally scuffed it. And then other times he just absolutely blasts in, like smashes the bar, or it goes over, or it goes in the corner. Like it's like a
not
really
composed.
Yeah, he's not composed. That's the best way of putting it. I know the interest is true because there's a good Barca source on Twitter called Shea Legassi. I've been speaking to him a bit, and like he's got really good connections in Barca, and he said, like Tuchel really, really wants him. Chelsea want to back Tuchel, but again, it's more of a summer move, and I think it always annoys me with the January window when a lot of summer talk happens, because I just think a lot can happen between January and summer where it's.
What if Dembele's injured again?
Yeah, like it's a weird one. Like we have interest in Chiesa, for example, and now he's tore his ACL. Like it's it's a lot of like, I just want to get stuff done now. It's always about the summer, like. Even like Nizar Cancelo and his supposed update article, a lot about the summer. Kunde,
Tchouaméni and Declan Rice. I don't want to know about them. Yeah, they're not happening now.
Yeah, like we know about those guys. Like it's like, but I guess they have to fill the articles because we're not doing anything right now. I mean, even Tuchel said today. Tuchel said it's quiet. We're looking, but it's hard to find players in January that are at Chelsea level. I mean, is that necessarily true? No, I don't think so. I think it's more about the scouting, but. I guess it is what it is. It'll be what it'll be.
No, 100% agreed, man. That's why I don't want to entertain all of these summer situation because, as you said, we've got a long way to go till summer. There's so many matches, so many big-time competitions to be, participating in and whatnot. There's no point in talking about summer, and God knows where we're going to be in terms of the squad and whatnot, and some of the players that we linked with. What's it going to be for them? So let's not entertain that. Let's get straight into this. Thomas Tuchel press conference. I'm going to bring out this particular because I think Nizar has summarized it quite nicely. So we'll go from the top. We'll obviously touch on the Son situation, but let's go through all the Chelsea stuff. This is what Thomas Tuchel said in terms of transfers. The situation has not changed for us. No news and updates. The areas where we are looking into the market are clear. There's no need to put any pressure, and for sure no need to do it in public. To to play for Chelsea and find these players in January, it's not easy. As you said, I don't agree with that as well. In regards to Emerson, there's no news, but once we have news, we'll update you. Let's talk about this before we talk about team news and whatnot. PYS, few people are misunderstanding me in Twitter, and this is why I hate sometimes tweeting. And I just go to Twitter to see news from you guys or Simon and whatnot. And every now and then I'll tweet, and people are misunderstanding me. Lately, and you know this very well, and I want to hear from you as well. I've been so frustrated that for me, it's 12th of January. For you, it'll be very soon, 12th of January. There's no way we're going to have a left wing back ready for the Spurs. And I remember you said, we better have someone ready for at least City, which I believe is on the 15th of January or something like that. I don't think we will have anyone ready by 15th. I'm very, very pessimistic about this. My issue is, PYs, it's not about let's just get anyone in. No, that's not my issue. I don't want anyone in. I want Chelsea to think. But I wish Chelsea had thought about all of this back in December. Do you know what I mean? Like, Chilwell got injured and we've known he's been injured. Why not have this conversation? Like, if you knew you're going to get someone like Emerson back, why aren't you having little talks with Leon before the transfer window? Nothing official, but get the ball rolling. Get it to a stage that by the 1st of Jan, you have everything organized. We're now at a situation where Leon has rejected us twice, because I can get it. I understand, PYS. They're going to lose one of their best players. Emerson is their number one left back, and they will need to get someone to fill in. And I think there's rumors that they may go for Lavin Kurzawa from PSG. But then there's another negotiation that needs to happen. I mean, how do you feel about this whole situation, man? Like, we're possibly going to be going into that Man City game. Definitely for the Spurs game, we're not going to have anyone. And also for the possibility for the Man City game, we're not going to have anyone. How do you feel about this whole transfer chaos that's gone
around? Not surprised. More just disappointed. I mean, every transfer window we go into, I hope that we do business earlier than usual. I mean, this is the same club that had Fabrizio Romano on his deadline day stream going overtime to see if we'd completed the papers for Saul. Like, you know what I mean? This is the same club that made him work overtime because of us in Atletico Madrid trying to force the papers through. I mean, come on, like, yeah. I mean, I see a lot of people talk about Digne and Emerson. Like, for me, it's not even about Digne or Emerson. It's about having a list, having a plan. You know what I mean? It's like we shouldn't have to pick between Digne or Emerson. It should be, we should have to pick between the board, and Tuchel should be having to pick between a lot of targets that they'd already pre-decided on. This is the thing. The one thing that annoys me the most actually about this all is that, and it annoyed me when this news first came out, but I don't think I said anything on it. It was that, remember when Chilwell had his first scan? I'm pretty sure it was Matt Law put an article out saying that actually the doctors, the professionals recommended that they have surgery, but Chelsea decided to wait 1 month. I mean, where's the logic in that?
Where's the logic in that?
And also, because that was the case, wouldn't that be like a good idea to back then start planning? You know what I mean? Like
100%.
It's like we've gone into this window with no planning. Like, we've seen, Digne's set with Rafa Benitez. Maybe we'll look at him, but clearly Tuchel doesn't want to disrupt the squad. Maybe he's against Digne, maybe he doesn't. I'm sure he prefers Emerson because of how he can settle in, etc. He's
and not just that, he knows Emerson. Like, Tuchel probably doesn't know the personality of Lukaku, which is understandable.
It's understandable, but again, like I don't know. I feel like one example I make is in the forward areas. Like, we've heard a lot of rumors about Dembele. We've heard rumors in the past about Chiesa. We've heard rumours about Rafinha, Anthony, Luis Diaz, murmurs. Like, these are clearly a lot of players that are maybe somewhat targeted or being reached out to. We don't know, but the fact is the links are there. With these wing-backs, it's like, oh my God, like, we're looking at loanies. Like, it's very limited options. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's as limited market as people say. I mean, even on the right-hand side, like, you can play, like, you could sign someone like Adama Traore and have him play in the front line or at wing back. Like,
Bro, why aren't we on top of this?
yeah,
Are these
it's
rumors
crazy.
right? Like Terry Flewers was saying that we could be hijacking a Damatrero from Spurs. I mean, Spurs look like they're
He had
interested.
he had Dean Jones on his Dean Jones on his transfer show. I mean,
Yeah.
Dean's all right. I don't necessarily regard him as a top source, but he's okay. I mean, I think he's probably going off old interest. He said Chelsea are interested in him, but Spurs are confident of getting a deal done. So, I mean, I don't see any hijack there. I mean, like news page or no one of our top sources has mentioned it anyway. So it's a bit weird because Tuchel supposedly liked him in the summer, and he's going,
Exactly. In the
but like.
summer, it was all about Damatrero, wasn't it?
And back then, right, he was like, I think he was rumored to be 35 million. I'm pretty sure Wolves are going to sell him for 18 to 20 now. So it's like, so he's on the cheap. Tuchel likes him. He's still young and coachable. He can play multiple positions, but we're looking at like Serginho Dest. Like, where's that even come from? Like, it just made it like, it's weird. I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to fly a drone over like Marina's office just for one day at Cobham to see what she does because I'm just so confused. Like, nothing ever makes sense with us. Like, from recalling Emerson, like paying money, like to recall him, to
It's a mess,
looking at
bro.
us, like
It's a mess.
and like I'm seeing like murmurs of like Martin and stuff like that. Like Martin's,
Martin is apparently a legit rumor. Like
yeah,
that's
he's
proper Plan B.
he's got so he's got talent, but like clearly just I don't think he's ready yet. Personally, like it's a big thing to come into us, and I get what Tuchel's saying in the sense that when he says it's hard to find Chelsea level players, I'm pretty sure like I mean Tuchel's got very high standards of what he expects from people, so I'm pretty sure he's talking about like big signings. Like I don't know, like it's weird. I don't know how to really explain it apart from I'm just hopeful Chelsea actually find someone that both Tuchel and they want, and that's a good investment, and that doesn't cost too much, and that's young, and like I mean, all roads lead to Dest really, but at the same time, like he's not good at defending, and I'm sorry,
It's not
a
good
lot of
enough. Yeah.
a lot of Chelsea fans are seem to forgetting that actually defending is also a big part of the wing back role. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but even you look at Spurs, for example, in the first leg, yeah, Ziyech was very good going forward, but you see how well he tracked back. You see how well he defended. Like
He
if
was so
Dest,
disciplined. He was
you know what
so
I mean? Like
disciplined.
yeah, the Barca fans I speak to say he's not like disciplined. He's a very like how do I explain it? He's kind of like a Lamptey player, but with not the defensive ability. Like he's very sharp, very small, very agile, very quick, good going forward, good at taking people on. But he's almost like an attacker because Barca played him right wing a few times as well. Like he's so offensively minded that it's like
Yeah.
if he was to play on the left, I wouldn't really mind it because you've got Rudiger as cover, and I think he's really good, Rudiger at covering. But
Yeah.
on the right hand side, I'm not too sure because I mean Chalobah's still young, and if you have those two down the sides, Christensen's not playing that much. I prefer him more on the left than the right. But then again, like I 100% believe we are going to recall Emerson. By the way, I think we're just waiting for Leon to find a replacement. I mean,
I just don't think it's going to happen quick, PYs. That's
no,
my
it won't.
issue.
It
Like,
won't. I mean, Nazar said himself. He said Chelsea will sort out, like, finalise what they're doing by the start of next week. I mean, what's the date now? We're going to be getting we're near the end of January already. We've got like 2 more weeks.
you might as well not just get anyone. You might as well not get anyone.
It's crazy. Seriously. It's like not surprised, but it's expected with this club. We don't act fast. I mean, just look at the summer, bro. We had the whole summer to do things.
How we screwed up Kunde, bro.
Yeah, Kunde.
I'm pretty sure we're still going to screw that up.
Yeah, Haaland. Whether or not we was in for him, don't
you
know.
always talk about Tchouaméni, how come we didn't go for him in the summer? Now he's going to be worth even more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, supposedly, like Simon Johnson said, we decided that he needed one more year. I mean, what a load of rubbish. Like, he was amazing last season as well. Like, come on. Oh, it's crazy. If you'd done the scouting properly, you wouldn't have these concerns. Like, you either get him or you don't. Like, it's not... With Tchouaméni, he's not a player you leave for one more year because he's so highly talented that all of top European clubs are going to go after him.
Bro, which scouting team says let's leave him for one more year?
Yeah,
let's just. I mean,
it's not like he's a player that's so popular. It's like they almost thought, oh no, you know, we'll be back. Don't worry. No one else is going to be interested next year. We'll have him. Just wait a bit. You know what I mean? Like unless you have a deal or some agreements in place behind the scenes where you can allow that time period wait, then like it's a pretty stupid move if you ask me.
No, you're absolutely right. First of all, shout out to Great Ahan. Thank you so much for the super chat, my man. What's up, man? Sorry I'm late. Nah, man, you're not late one bit. We literally only started about 20 minutes ago. So, look, as you've been saying, PYs, it's not about, you know, being upset with Chelsea because of different plans. Like apparently they've got this plan A, plan B, plan C. It's about, why aren't you having these plans beforehand and then going into 1st of January? It's about execution. January transfer window isn't about, okay, guys, the board, everyone come into the boardroom, let's discuss. No, discussions happen before the window. January is about execution. That's my issue. January is about execution, executing your plan. So if your plan was, let's say for argument's sake, Luka Dean, and you realize straight away, nah, you know what, Everton wants to only talk about permanent transfer. We don't want to deal with that. No, good, gone. It's crossed out, and that's gone. All right, next up, Emerson. Okay, what's going on? Leon, we want our man back. How much money do you need? What compensation? How long do you need to, you know, get another left back? Do you have anyone that you're looking at? Okay, what's the time frame? Let's get it done. It feels like we've only started talking about all of this like literally a few days ago. That's my issue. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole Martin situation. Like, have all of this set out in December. What's your plan A, plan B, plan C? And have timeframes as well. If plan A was to get Emerson, are you going to wait till January 31st? Or are you going to act quicker? That, okay, if that doesn't happen, you know, we'll have to make do with Ian Martin. If it's Dest, then bloody get Dest. Like, go and get him. Like, if that's what you want. And if it's not him, do you want Dujon Sterling to come back as a backup option? Bottom line is, give the manager options leading up to the matches. That seems to be, you know, the biggest issue from my perspective. For me, it doesn't really matter about the personnel, because at the end of the day, Reece James and Chilwell, you're not going to find that level of replacement in January. So it's not about that. For me, it's more about just get on with it, mate. Get things done. All right, let's talk about team news, ladies and gentlemen. PYS, this is the latest. Right now, we had the same guys as in the cup game. There's no news, but no new injuries. We wait on the last minute decisions on N'Golo Kante and Thiago Silva. We've got that testing positive previously. I mean, this is good. No further injuries and no more positive test cases for the time being until we see what happens tomorrow, of course. PYS, how you feeling? I mean, would you be, let's talk about N'Golo Kante and Thiago Silva now. If they're okay and they, you know, come up with another negative test, I'm seeing from the fifth stand that they're back in training. Would you look at possibly playing these two players, or are you a bit weary that now, you know what, let's have them off the bench?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm not debating about Kante. I don't think he needs to start at all. I think with Jorginho, with Kovacic, with Saul's form, I don't think Kante's... I mean, Kante's needed in any game, but right, it's not that he's not needed, but I don't think... Like, I think we can do, basically, tomorrow. We've got a 2-0 lead. I don't think he's a priority, which sounds crazy because it's Kante, but still, like, I don't think there's a need to risk him. With Thiago Silva, it's a bit different because, I mean, we've got... Chalobah's still injured. We've got Rudiger who's available. Christensen's probably going to start, and Aspi, like, probably, you know. So, I mean, I don't know. Does Malang Sarr start and then Rudiger in the middle? I'm not sure. I mean, Tuchel's not playing Christensen much lately. Yeah, I'd like to have Silva's leadership tomorrow if he's ready and available, to be honest. I think he can be massive, huge for this game, especially if things get tight, you know, Spurs get an early goal or something. Yeah, I think he can be massive in this sort of games. This is where you need your world-class
that calming
players,
nature,
really.
that leader, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's so important.
Yeah, I think our back line's been a bit iffy lately. You know, we haven't looked as solid, so I think having Silva in there would be a blessing, really. But I don't know. If I had to guess, I think Tuchel will probably start both. I can't lie. I think he will start both of them. I just will. I think it's the type of manager he wants to have his best players out there. So yeah, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting one.
We'll definitely see. You did touch on how Tuchel lately hasn't been really preferring Christensen, and that's the other thing. I just want to get your thoughts on it. Obviously, we're in a bit of a chaos with all this left wing back, right wing back situation. We are moving so slow. We're moving very slow in terms of contract extensions as well. Like, we are now literally in the red zone with these players. I know there's a lot of talk about Rudiger, how Real Madrid possibly not interested. And there's some positives about Rudiger. Apparently, we've held a conversation. So hopefully there's something there. Same with Azpilicueta. But Christensen, what's the hold-up, PYS? Like, it's all on the table. What is the hold-up? And I don't blame Thomas Tuchel to feel not connected with him at the moment in terms of starting, because you're not really committing yourself to Chelsea. I mean, how you feel about the whole Christensen thing, man?
Yeah, so I know that, like, he's not. Well, I mean, he is pretty much open to a move elsewhere. Like, he kind of got his head turned a little bit by Barcelona interest specifically, but I think it's an interesting one because I'm feeling a bombshell coming soon from one of the reporters. Like, it's gone so eerily quiet, and it's just like it's worrying. You know,
Signed for Barcelona, Christensen.
or it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't know. Like, it's like the 11th of January for me, and it's like, you know, they can negotiate with other clubs. I feel like something will come out of nowhere, whether it be agreement or I don't know. Like, it's weird. But I think. I've always said I think he'll stay, but I think that is because I just can't see Christensen leaving Chelsea. I think it'd be weird. Like, he's been here such a long time. I've always thought Rudiger would leave, but imagine how funny it would be if Rudiger stayed and Christensen left after all this time.
I'm starting to think that might be the case now. Like,
that would be the craziest twist of events I've ever seen in terms of contracts. Because it's like. We're all like, oh, you know, I mean, me personally, I made peace with Rudiger leaving, but I mean, if Real Madrid ain't coughing up the money, then I think he could probably stay here, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
do you reckon Barcelona's interested in Christensen? Like, have you heard anything, or does it feel like he could do that?
I'll have to ask the Barca guy I speak to, but just been talking mainly about Dembele and Des, but I think. With Barcelona, I can't really see it at the moment because they're really struggling with their wage bill. So like they've only just managed to register Torres, and that was by Umtiti taking a pay cut. Like, it's crazy. Like,
and
how
extending
are they gonna...
the contract for like 3 more years.
Yeah, like it's weird. I did see that there was a source. I think his name's like Matti Moreto. He works for Sky. He's like collabed with Fabrizio quite a lot. Quite a few days ago, he said, like, Christensen update, he now has offers from France and England. So, I mean, if he goes to another Premier League club, you know, this is what I mean is, like, I feel like these reporters know more than they're letting on at the moment. And that's why I'm feeling a bombshell coming, you know, like in the next week or something, because, like, there's just not enough information for me. And I know there's stuff going on behind the scenes because, you know, otherwise he would have signed because, you know, you would have signed on, you know, first week of January if things weren't going on, right? So
exactly.
The fact that he's left it till January is kind of making me edge towards I think he's going to leave now, and I think, like,
I mean, why wait all this time? Why wait all this time? If you knew you're going to be playing for Chelsea, you're already signing. You're testing the waters to see what else is available out there. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. There could be a bombshell that could drop very, very soon with one of these players apparently signing a pre-contract. And now that Kieran Trippier has gone from Atletico Madrid, there's some talks about Azpilicueta as well, linked with Atletico Madrid. I don't know how he's going to survive in Atletico Madrid because they do play, you know, intense football, running, pressing, and whatnot. And Aspi's looking for 2-year contract. He's probably not going to get that with us. And yeah, we could possibly see something. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 90 plus people live right now. Smash the like button. Get those likes up to well over 90. Let's try and get to 100 if we can right away as we progress along to the lineup prediction very, very soon. This is the last bit that I want to get the live chat and PYS's opinion. This is a very hot topic that's going around. Tuchel calls on Premier League to be more transparent about the reasons that particular disease-related postponements. It would be nice for everybody in this situation. It would help to make people understand why. I mean, PYS, there's a lot of stuff that's been going around with Liverpool recently, with Klopp coming out and saying, "Oh, there's a lot of false positive." There's a, and to have what is it, 7 or 8 or something like that, 13 false positive is like close to impossible. To get one is like nearly impossible. To get that many is almost impossible. And then a lot of people are saying, Liverpool cheated their way out of that Carabao Cup first leg. By the way, we're going to be playing our second leg. They have not even played their first leg. I don't know whether they're going to be playing it this week. They probably are. PYS, it seems like double standards. Like, we had genuine issues, but we've had to play. Whereas Liverpool and all these other football, all these other clubs, they seem to get away with it. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Tuchel said he believes Klopp. I mean, that's probably just the, they know each other, German connection kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I don't really have too many opinions on it, but I think it did seem a bit fishy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was a bit. I mean, they're being investigated, right? So it's interesting for sure. But yeah,
I hope they get caught.
I don't have too much to say. It's just. Yeah, it would be interesting. But then again, I mean, does that mean they'll get kicked out and Arsenal go to the final? Because me personally, I'd rather play Liverpool, to be honest. I know that's a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I mean, Arsenal at Wembley for us is not good usually. So, yeah, there's something about them. I don't know why. I mean, it's just weird. We can't seem to beat them at Wembley. So,
No, you're right, man. And Arsenal's been a bit strange as well in the last few games. They've obviously got knocked out from the FA Cup. I think that loss against City, even though they played well, that might have just affected them. But you're right. I mean, if it was between Arsenal and Liverpool, you'd probably want to face Liverpool. Yeah, you're right. There's something about Arsenal playing at Wembley. It just doesn't work out, man. But it is strange. You're 100% right. Something fishy is going on, and we'll monitor what's going on and whether they get punished or not. So watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are now going to get into the nitty-gritty. Here we go. This is what you guys have been waiting for. Let's get into the team lineup. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, nearly 100 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 100 immediately. It's very important for the growth of the channel, so let's get that going, ladies and gentlemen. Do check out the pinned comment, which is the latest on Ian Martin. That's the video that dropped almost about 12 hours ago now. So do check that out once this stream is over. PYS, I'll put it out there. And I know you said that you probably want Silva, and if that's the case, then it's probably going to be 3 at the back. But if we don't have legitimate wing backs, but then again, Alonso's fit, and we could use Aspie. I mean, I was thinking about the 4 at the back, but maybe it's a bit too far-fetched now that Silva's back. Do you think we're going to revert back to 3 at the back and wing back situation again, PYS?
Yeah, I think so. I think we will play 3 at the back for sure.
Fair enough. Let's keep with that then. It kind of feels like we're going to play 3 in the back as well. I mean, if Thiago Silva is potentially in line to start this, which I also agree, you're right. A calming factor, a leader is very much needed. So why not? Okay. Kepa, of course. There's no room for Bettinelli here. I mean, at the end of the day, Kepa is waiting for this situation. Who's your back 3?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, Rudiger 100% on the left-hand side, I think. Because I'm going to put Silva in the middle, but that's probably with like a star maybe, because I'm not sure if he's going to play. Like, I feel like he will, so I'm going to put him in there, but I'm still not sure. A bit 50-50.
Yeah, because we don't... Oh, but Christensen's fit. But you're not looking to start Christensen, are you?
I mean, personally, 100% I would start him, but I think Tuchel would start Aspie. and then play probably someone at one of the wingers at wing
Like
back, I guess. Again,
Pulisic or Callum Hudson-Odoi.
yeah. So I'll put Aspi in, but me personally, I'll play Christensen.
Do you know what? Let's go with what we want. I would go with Christensen as well,
Yeah.
because that's more
Such a good back three, by the way. That's a brilliant back three.
100%, 100%. I'm just going to put Atby in the background as to what could possibly happen as well. In the wing backs, then you're probably having Atby here,
Yeah. If AC starts, and he's mostly as people probably start. Yeah.
and if not, who would be the wingers? Like, would it be Pulisic if Aspie is in the right
Um,
CB?
I mean, Pulisic fans are going to hate me for this because, I mean, I mean, Hudson-Odoi is definitely better at right wing back because he's had a lot of experience there. But at the same time, me personally, everyone knows I prefer Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side over Pulisic. A lot of people disagree, but I'd put Pulisic there. Because me personally, I prefer Hudson-Odoi in the front three, as I said, on the left. But a lot of people just don't, which is interesting.
No, I prefer that as well. There was Nizar actually asked about Pulisic playing in whole heap of different roles, multiple roles, being so versatile. And I like Thomas Tuchel's response. He said, "Look, up front, there's a lot of competition, so you're not going to be getting too much minutes. At least this way, you're getting some minutes, and you should be happy that you're getting some minutes. Either you stay in the bench and not even feature, or you help out the team where you can, because up front, it's difficult. It's difficult. We've got a lot of options over there. So, and there's no injuries over there. I completely understand. And this is what I've been saying to all the Pulisic stands out there. Nothing against you guys and nothing against Pulisic, but no point in sitting there and complaining. At the end of the day, it's either he's going to be in the bench because there's a lot of competition up front, or you play. You play because up front, there's probably other players that are ahead of him at the moment in terms of form. So it is what it is. Left side, Alonso. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Lewis Hall, does he look? Some people are saying Hall at left wing back. Does he get
No. No way. It's too big of a game for him. He's like 17. I mean, the poor kid said his hands were shaking before playing against Chesterfield. Imagine before a Carabao Cup semi-final. Like, you know what I mean? It's like in that stadium as well. No. Like, he's a great player. And I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just not sure he's ready. I mean, he's 17. Like, he had cramp at 75 minutes as well.
Yeah,
like,
there you go. Hall is getting cramp at 75 minutes. No need to understand he's 17. Exactly. And as PY has said, you don't want this kid to come in and just be in shock and awe when he's looking at Harry Kane or some of the Spurs players. So the occasion could be a bit too much. And yeah, 100% agree. I have to put one of my players here, and I don't know whether you're going to agree with this. I need to have Saul there, PYs. I felt like he had a fantastic first leg. I know Chesterfield, whatever, we weren't the greatest. Yeah, we won 5-1, but it is what it is. But for me, he makes it to this particular game. What's your thoughts on Saul?
I mean, he's played well. He probably gets another start on merit, but he's not in my midfield too.
Oh wow, harsh, bro, harsh.
Very harsh, but unfortunately, you've got Don Kovacic and you've got the controller Jorginho who we're going to need in this game. So I think Jorginho and Kovacic is my pivot, and I think that's, as I said before, going off what Tuchel said as well. We want control in the game, and I think we have lacked a bit of control without Jorginho. And I think, I think it will be more of a professional performance. Like Tuchel said, we want to attack them. Sure, I mean, we'll try and score goals, but I think it will be more. I don't know. Some of our games, like the Liverpool game, was quite chaotic. Like Spurs, we were chaotic. We were constant at them. Like we was, we trying different formations and stuff. But I think this game will be a bit of a professional performance, and I think Jorginho and Kovacic are such an experienced duo in that midfield together as well that I think they'll probably will start. I think they should. I mean, but I won't be against Saul playing. I'm just.
Tuchel had a lot of praise for Saul recently. He said he could possibly become quite an important player for the remainder of the season. His trajectory is upwards at the moment.
I'm not sure.
You'd have to agree with that.
I'm not sure. I'm just a bit worried that I don't know. I don't know. I don't fully trust him yet. I don't think I need to see a few more games. I feel like it's, you know, I don't want this to be a little purple patch and then he, goes
Hmm.
absolutely terrible again. Like I don't know. I'm just a bit wary because I think when you've seen how bad he has been, and then all of a sudden he seems really good, you're like, well, what's going on here then?
You're
Like,
scarred, bro. You're scarred, aren't you?
like it's a bit like it's alarm bells. Like what's going on here? Why are you suddenly good? It's a bit worrying.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like a bit weird, but um, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he starts because I think just in general, I think they've got the advantage on their midfield. But
Were you
I
surprised how
don't
well he
know.
was in the first leg?
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, um,
Hmm.
but like, I mean, he seems to be adjusting to the tempo a bit better now. I
Yeah.
think in the last few games, he's passing the ball quicker. He's not getting caught, but I don't know, man. My boy Kovacic and Georgie, like they're just, yeah. I'm too in love with them. They're just too
Cover
good
is
for
your
me.
boy. Cover is your boy, bro.
Yeah, Kova's
Would
my
you have
boy.
one eye on the City game though? Like,
You could say that to be fair, but then again, I think if you rest Kante, then I think Kante is obviously he start against City, and then you've only got to choose between sort of one between Jorginho and Kovacic, and I think, I mean, if we start those two, like you've got on screen now, I think you can always take one off for Saul
hmm.
anyway, or Loftus-Cheek off the bench. So I mean, they don't have to play a full 90. I mean, Cover could come off 70 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
Cover's got such a mad engine. Like
Oh,
he's ridiculous. Like I don't feel like he's kind of like another Kante. Like unless he gets injured, I feel like he can play all the time. So like he never stops
defensively good
dribbling
as
and just
well.
running. Yeah,
People
he
don't
is.
talk
He's
about his
underrated.
defensive quality, man. He's good in defense.
Yeah, the one thing with Cover is sometimes he doesn't track the runners off the ball. Like I definitely
Hmm.
noticed that.
Yeah.
He definitely needs to improve on that for sure. That's the defensive awareness, but in terms of tackles and interceptions, he ranks highly in those stats. And the Jules one is absolutely outrageous. Every
Yeah.
time he plays, he gets some absurd Jules one stats. Like it's mental. He goes in for so much and hot. Like yeah, he's I don't understand like how people don't rate him on like such a high tier level because
Are there
every time
still
he
people
plays,
that don't rate Kovacic? Are there still
bro,
people?
they don't know football. They don't know football. It's as simple as that. Like you can't watch football and not rate Kovacic. It's like every time he plays, his stat line is just absurd, bro. Like it's you know what I mean. Like he there's always like three, four, five stats that you're like, wow. Even if you don't like necessarily pay attention to stats like Jules one and things like that and
Hmm.
interception. Like you don't necessarily you may like notice, oh, I thought he, got a couple of interceptions that game. You go on the stats and he gets like five or six. You're like, whoa,
Hmm.
like, it's mental. Like I think some of his work just goes under the radar. Whereas like when you watch Kante, I think everyone pays attention to it. But Cover is such a warrior. Like that's what Tuchel said. He gets stuck in with
Yeah.
everything and I mean, I'd, if there's a bust up as well tomorrow, I'm on Kovacic in the mix. So, that bit of old Croatian, the Eastern Europeanness in the midfield, bro. Like, yeah, let's go.
Bro, the
Ready to
way he
battle.
breaks the midfield, I love that. He will receive the ball. Let's say he receives the ball in and around these sort of areas, deep areas. Um, and then
Yeah,
the way he just one touch and just drives through these areas like that. And within few steps, he's over here. And then it's basically laying the
bro.
ball to one of the front three.
You're getting me gush just moving the player. Like I just want to see it. Like I want to watch him every single day because he's so entertaining to watch, and it's like. Bro, when he goes on those mad dribbles, like I'm just like, yes. And now I know that it's going to come to something because his passing's actually improved. Like
Yeah, yeah,
there was a
yeah.
lot of times, like last season and with Sarri, he would do the same thing, and with Lampard, he'd do the same thing, but he'd get to sort of edge of the box and then
Yeah, the end
hesitate
product wasn't
or
there.
yeah he didn't make the right decisions a lot of the time. But now it's like
Mm.
especially with Lukaku as well. I said this on Miz's stream. Yeah, your stream,
Yeah.
and Miz and Lawrence, both of you guys. I said, he really tries to link up with Lukaku,
Yeah, he
and
does.
he really tries to to sort of make him work. I almost feel like, you know, it's like a lot of the players we mentioned, you know, the other day on your stream, that we don't necessarily try and pick out Lukaku a lot. Like, I mean, I sometimes feel like he gets isolated when he's calling for the ball. I don't think like we
miss out on a lot of his runs, PYS. When he
yeah,
makes
yeah,
runs,
we
we
miss out
miss
a lot of
out.
these runs, like over the top. Like I said on Lauren's stream as well, that he always has his hand up, and no one ever like people will look up. Right, I think an example was Aspi last game. I think in the first leg, Aspi kept looking up at Lukaku, and Lukaku would have his hand up for a cross or something. Yeah, it was for crosses, and Aspi would pass to the side, and I was just like, why is he not crossing? I was confused because, you know, the one time we did cross to him, I know he missed, but he did nearly score. So, I mean, it's weird. Like, I don't know. Because Aspie always used to cross to Giroud and Morata, so it's just kind of a strange one. Like, yeah, I don't know. But I feel like him and Kova really have that connection. So, yeah, it's good.
No, you're right, man. I've noticed Kova always trying to find Lukaku as early as possible. And that's how it's meant to be, because you need to get to Lukaku. If you're going to utilize Lukaku, get the ball to him early so he can actually do some damage on the defenders. By the time you wait too long, the defenders are on his back, and it's difficult then to combat. Sometimes he even has two defenders on him. So if you try and get to him quick, you'll naturally see that the defender's not ready to combat Lukaku as there. And that's when Lukaku is at his most lethal. And I just wish most of the other team members saw that about Lukaku. And one thing that Kovacic does, he definitely sees that. I've noticed Mount tries to do that. Recently, he hasn't been, but he generally does look up to see Lukaku as well. But look, yeah, I completely understand your thought process around Jorginho and Kovacic to be in the middle. I only wanted to have Saul because I wanted to reward him off the back of that first particular leg. But I understand, you know, away from home, we're only one game away with leading 2-0. Let's control the match and let's see this through and go to the final. So, look, I won't be unhappy if I see Saul. I'll be very, very happy, actually. And even if I don't see him, Jorginho and Kovacic, we all know how good they are. Let's talk about the front three. But before that, Carefree Tactics, thank you so much. Ryan is in the house. Good to see you. Declan in Ireland, maybe there's a Benzema Vinicius thing going on. Yeah, perhaps. All right, PYS. Let's go with the strike first. Who's your striker?
I know a lot of people are going to say Havertz, but for me, it's Lukaku. And I think if you buy £100 million striker and you don't play him in the big games, then why did you buy him in the first place? Like, we bought him for these type of games, and I know a lot of people have been saying to me, well, you know, his big six record or his big game record's rubbish, but it's like, well, are we going to try and make him work, or, you know, are we trying to succeed with Lukaku, or are we just going to, you know, play him in the smaller games?
Are you still upset with him?
I am, but I'm trying to move on for it because I want, as I said, like, I'm trying to move on because I want what's best for Chelsea. And I feel like with Lukaku is, if we can get him scoring, then I think Chelsea can have a really good and successful season. Whereas with Havertz, Havertz is better for overall play, but he doesn't score goals. His record for Chelsea is not good. He really doesn't score many goals at all. And
Well, his
with
shooting
Lukaku,
is poor as well, Havertz. Like, he scuffs his shots all the time.
Yeah, you know, well, I don't know if it came down to an own goal, but I know he technically scored.
I think it was an own goal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was going in. But anyway, like, I know he did well last round, and in general in the EFL Cup, I think he's done really well. But yeah, it has to be Lukaku. Like, you're not going to put him out like if you had Lukaku on the bench for this game, there'd be, you know, stories coming of what's going on. You know.
By the way, are you believing some of these stories linking him with PSG? I know some of the guys running us.
No, it's completely not true. That's not true. I saw that article was not true in the slightest. I mean, it's not going to happen. I think if
why does PSG need Lukaku?
Yeah, I mean, Mbappe is probably leaving, right? So they might sign another attacker, but still, it's like I can't see that happening. I mean, that article in general, like, from what it is right now, is not true, but it might end up being true. But I know a lot of people just jumped on it and like, oh, he's going PSG. That's like not the case, clearly. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Lukaku said himself he signed a 5-year contract here, and now he supposedly wants to stay and succeed. I don't know. The long term's going to be interesting, but for right now, we need to get him banging form, scoring goals.
Yeah.
Difficult period, a difficult month for us with Club World Cup, with City, with Spurs again. We've got tough games, so you need your big players. You need your big and best players up there. I think he has to lead the line.
No, you're 100% right. I would prefer Lukaku as well. Look, I'm upset still with what he's done, but I'm trying to move on from it. He's apologized. Whether you accept it or not, that's a different story. I want to see him now score goals and really put the hard yards, and amend the situation with the fan base. Chesterfield, I felt like he could have scored 3, 4, 5 maybe. He only ended up scoring 1. That kind of annoyed me a little bit, but got some valuable minutes under his belt, which is fine. That first leg against Spurs, he was okay. Nothing too fancy, nothing ridiculously bad as well. He was given a job to do, and he did that job tactically. But I need this man to start firing. He's our big striker. He needs to start firing. I don't know some of these rumors, PYS, Roman apparently being still unhappy with this situation, how he went public and talked about all of that stuff about Inter and whatnot. By the way, I saw that comment he put on Simon Phillips's latest, one of his tweets about the training kit, which looks like Inter Milan's one. Bro, you make me laugh, bro.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that reply, I need to bring this up, ladies and gentlemen. That was so funny. This guy, he's so quick-witted. I could not stop laughing. I wanted to reply, and I thought, you know what? No, I can't reply because no reply would do justification. What the hell's going on here? Mo Salah leaving on Chelsea. When I look back, I had a bad advice with the situation. It was tough mentally. I couldn't handle the pressure I had from the media. You have 2 choices: to tell the people that you are right to put you on the bench or prove them wrong. Oh, okay. Maybe some people have pushed him out from Chelsea. Maybe he didn't want to go. I don't know. Whatever the case is. Chelsea are also interested in signing. Oh, yeah, this is what we talked about, the Dean Jones situation with Adama Traore. Where is it? Simon Phillips. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself. Chelsea's new 2022 pre-match shirt that will be released next month. Yes, looks a lot like Inter Milan, doesn't it? And then our man, PYS, Lukaku. I mean, it's banging as well, that reply. 660 likes.
Yeah, it's banging. It is like the perfect shit for it. It's the perfect gift for it. It's 100%.
You are so witty, bro. What made you... Did you just see that and go, oh my God, Lukaku, you're at home now?
Actually, I'm not going to lie. I saw someone on the timeline say, oh, Lukaku's going to like this. And then I thought, what can I reply to that post of Simon Phillips? And then I thought, I think I typed like licking his lips or something, like rubbing his hands. I don't know. Yeah, it was something like that. And I found that one. I was like, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
You're too funny, bro. You're absolutely too funny. Lukaku for me as well, up front, 100%. Okay, inside forwards now. PYS. Look, can I make one small request, PYS, before I let you go? You got to let my man. You got to let him play. You have to. Is that okay?
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you.
Yes.
But I don't think Tuchel will agree with you.
Oh no.
No, I honestly think he'll play Mount in the right slot.
Bro, he was good in that first leg as well, Ziyech.
Ziyech was amazing. Ziyech was absolutely amazing.
He got man of the match, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah. He could I don't know. Like Ziyech could actually play like a right wing back role, and then he could play Mount as well. So I think maybe an option to consider. Yeah, maybe you should do that on the lineup. I don't know.
You don't think Mount on the other side, or who you got on the other side then?
See,
don't tell
in
me
my
Callum,
lineup,
don't tell me Callum.
Huh?
Don't tell me it's Callum. His form's been weird.
On my lineup, it was Callum. Yeah, I have.
Is that bias or is that legit? You're thinking he's
no, it's legit. I think when he plays on the left hand side, he's our most active creator, and I think for all his missed chances, I think I think there's so much more. How to explain it? Pros to his game, like that help us, than a couple of missed chances, and I think he gets the blame a lot. I just think he's very scapegoated at the moment. I do. I think we just play a lot better when he plays there. I think we're more direct. I think he's very, very creative. He puts balls into Lukaku when he starts.
He is creative. It's just
He
I'm worried
cuts in
about
like
if he gets into the situation of scoring or making that final third decision. That pass to Mason Mount. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that's handball," but still, it wasn't good. I mean, PYS, I agree with you. He is creative. He has that vision. Um, someone like Ziyech, but I'm just worried about his final third quality all the time. Do you know what I mean?
I do agree with you, but I just have such faith in him, and I think Tuchel's constantly coaching him, and I think Tuchel knows how good he can be. So it's like, do you give him, these chances? I think you do. I think you have to keep giving him these chances because I think to see the fruits of what he could be, you have to keep persisting with him. And I think he's a great player. I really do. A lot of people think he's overrated, but I think every time he plays, the switches of play as well, just his vision. Like if him and Ziyech play tomorrow, I think we feast. Honestly, I really do. Especially on the transitions, with Hudson-Odoi, like Lukaku, I can just see that working. But I do agree. You could also see Mount and Ziyech, or God help us, you could see Werner as well on the left-hand side. You could even see like a 3-5-2 with maybe Havertz, Lukaku up top, Mount in behind. You don't know. It's very, very hard. Yeah, that comment is true. I mean,
I love this comment. I love this comment.
I
Ryan
do.
with a banger.
I do absolutely love Hudson-Odoi, and people will know that I have a crazy bias for him and Kovacic, really. But I think it's justified. Like I don't just blindly say things. I generally rate them both so highly, and I believe in them both so highly. And even with Kovacic, is like I remember periods where he was getting absolutely slandered. Like I brought a video back to the timeline the other day, and I deleted it because I didn't want to upset some of the guys in the video. But it was 100% Chelsea video when they used to do the fan cams, and it was not sure if you've seen it, but it was like
I didn't see
they're
it.
all in a circle, and he said, Louis Beneventi said, "Oh, Kovacic or Barkley," and all of them answered Barkley, and this was in like 2019.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was thinking, even back then, I was backing Kovacic. I thought he was a great player, no one else did. And I was just watching that video, and I was thinking, fucking hell, like, yeah, it's crazy how far this fan base has come. Like, personally, I've always loved the player, but yeah, some people thought Barkley was better. I was like, oh crap!
Can you believe there was once upon a time Barkley was ahead of Kovacic in the fan base? Like that's mad. That's mad.
It's mental. It's mental. Same with Jorginho. They'd rather have like, I saw shouts of, just get Mikel out and get his boots out and put Mikel in for Jorginho a couple of years ago, and I was just like, what is this? Because Mikel was still playing, I think, for Middlesbrough or something like that, and I was just like, what? Like, what is this fan base? Sometimes it's crazy. Like, I don't know.
Mad. Yeah. It is mad. Ryan is saying, feel like Havertz and Lukaku will complement each other, and we should aim to get chemistry going ASAP before UCL returns. I do like that. I mean, okay, my preference was Ziyech. That's not really the preference for PYS, and my preference is Mount on that side. Well, now I'm thinking Havertz and Lukaku, they really do need to get that thing going on. I mean, let's put some more options here. You did say you would have Mount on this side, didn't you?
No, I said I think Tuchel will put Mount on the side. I'd have Ziyech playing.
Okay. So Tuchel would put Mount. Do you think Tuchel would go with Cho, or
I feel like he'll go with Werner. I'm not gonna lie.
Werner.
Yeah,
Wow.
I feel like he'll play Werner.
He'll play Havertz at all.
No, I think he'll play Werner or Pulisic on the left. Personally.
Interesting. Well, what's your thought process around maybe Tuchel playing Werner? Is it because they're going to come at us? They're going to come at us, and we can exploit their space in the back?
I mean, tactically, yeah, but also, I mean, Tuchel just seems to have a persistence with Werner. I mean, I just seem to remember in my head a lot of times where I was like, no way Werner's going to start in previews, and then he started. So, I mean, I'm just putting it as an option because I think, Tuchel might do that. I think, I don't know, like, whenever he just seems to have like this mad persistence. Don't know what it is. It's weird. Maybe it's the work rate. I mean, he presses very well, but his overall quality is poor. It's poor.
No, 100%, man. No, I mean Werner, even against Chesterfield. Oh my God, he almost stuffed
You
up
know,
that first goal.
like as you said about like no Havertz, I think he has to be, not has to be. I think he will be in the team somewhere. So I think thinking of this, I'd probably lean more toward a 3-5-2 actually, or maybe like the 4-2-2 or something like that, because I think he'll want to get two attackers up there,
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know whether he's going to tinker too much.
Yeah, but then still have room for other options. Like it's very hard because when we've got everyone fit, it's hard to fit everyone in terms of get up front, because you can play different system. You can play the 3-5-2, you can play the 4-2-2, or you can play the traditional 3-4-3. Like,
shall we just quickly do
I don't know what he's
four
going
at
to
the
pick
back?
tomorrow. You could do. I mean, I don't know what he's going to pick tomorrow. I can't lie. I'm so confused. There's so many options, and this is a good thing, by the way, because I don't think Kante will know either. There's no possible way he could know exactly what 11 Tuchel will pick.
Is this what you would be doing if it was 4-4-2? Sorry, 4-2-2-2.
Yeah, I think that's what we played, right?
And this kind of makes sense to me as well, that Ziyech off the ball, wing back. So he'll be sort of tucking in there. Similar with Alonso, Callum off the ball, wing back. And then obviously you've got Havertz and Lukaku over here. I like this, bro. I really do.
Yeah, it's definitely more tactical. And I think he might go with something like this, to be fair, because I think it worked so well. The thing you've got to remember is it worked so well against them in the first leg that I don't really see why you wouldn't do it again, if you get what I mean. But
this is exactly why I said from when we just started doing the lineups, I would do this. And I know Silva's coming back and he may be inclined to go back to the 3. I'd still do this. I really would.
But I mean, it's something that I'd like to see. But at the same time, you're not going to hear any complaints from me if we go, one of our traditional 3 at the backs and we win 1-0. Like, you're not going to hear complaints from me. Like, honestly, I want to win the game. I want to get to the final, Miz. I want to get to Wembley. But I would like to see this over other options. But that's because I want to, that's just my preference. I'm a fan. I want it to look good on the eye. But, me personally, I don't really care in terms of, as long as we get the result, that's the main thing. And just be professional, defend well. I don't know whether, does he, I mean, I was going to say, does Tuchel have the balls to do 4 at the back away from home? I mean, I'm sure he does, but I don't know. Maybe
he's got balls, bro.
Yeah, maybe we just go more defensive. But then again, like Tuchel
I say we attack them, PYS,
Yeah,
because
but
they're the ones who are going to be coming at us. Like we can hit them.
I was going to say, like, maybe you see a situation where we're doing all these fancy lineups now, but we just kind of do like a 3-5-2. We may even play 3 midfielders if Kante starts as well. Maybe we do 3 midfielders. We counter attack them, and we just do a professional job. Maybe we won 1 or 2-0. With limited chances. Maybe we score from a corner or something like that. But maybe that happens. But also, like Tuchel's press conference, he said, we want to control the game, but we also want to attack them. So that to me is like the four at the back formation, because we had so much control, we had so many options. Like
Bro, Spurs had nothing that game. They had
yeah, they had
nothing.
nothing. We controlled the game magnificently, and,
Yeah.
and by saying we want to attack them, I mean I don't know whether that's just a generic statement or whether that's we want to go really attacking, and that means an four at the back, because it is more attacking.
Bro, under
I don't
Tuchel,
know.
we've generally not parked the bus. We've not parked the bus. I don't recall parking the bus under Thomas Tuchel.
I mean, City at home, we definitely parked the bus. That was absolutely horrible to watch for
Do you
me.
reckon we parked the bus purposely, or do you think City forced us to do it? Because I don't think Tuchel wanted that.
Uh,
I'm
I,
pretty sure Tuchel didn't want that.
I don't know. I mean, I went to the game that day, and it did seem very sort of drop back, kind of, get it up to Lukaku and Werner. It just didn't work that day. I mean, I remember that day as well. None of our midfielders could pass. Kante, Cover, Jorginho, they couldn't pass that game, so it just didn't really work. But yeah, in general, I agree. I mean, we do press high, even in the three at the back system. The centre backs press high as well, and that's ultimately what sometimes leaves the space
Yeah.
that we get caught out on. Prime example, Liverpool was absolutely abysmal. I mean, great game to watch as a neutral, but I was having panic attacks every time they sent the ball forward, because I mean, we was missing the ball, and then in midfield, that they were splitting us open. It was horrible. It was horrible I was on the edge of my seat all game, like literally. And Liverpool were doing it as well. That's why, like, I'd rather just play them in the final, because on that Wembley pitch, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can outscore them.
We probably could.
I'm just thinking like that final would just be who can outscore each other, and then
By the way,
I
when is the
don't.
final? When is the final?
I think it's the start or the end of February. I'm pretty sure it might be the end of February.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure it's the end of February. I know it's in February though, because it always comes round and I'm like, oh my god, like one of the cup finals is already. It's always the Carabao one. So whereas the others are always at the end of the season, but this one's always like a nice early one that you can win.
No, 100%, 100%. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there's so many permutations, different, combinations that we can have. We've now shown you two different formations, whether it's three at the back, four at the back. You guys decide what you want. We've come up with a particular, predicted lineup. PYS, before we go into the Son situation, which I do want to touch on, what's your score prediction, my man?
It's going to be interesting. I'm going to go with another 2-0. I'm going to go with another 2-0.
Chelsea to win away from home 2-0.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, because Spurs are going to have to come out. They're going to have to come out, and they could be in a bit of a mess. And also, this is the news, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Son will miss both of Tottenham's remaining matches against Chelsea in January. Ben Deneri is saying, Conte on Son, for sure we have to wait until after the international break. I think he talks, there is no international break. I think he's talking about like some sort of winter break that's coming up. It was a muscular problem, and it was strange because he came off during the game the day after he felt a bit of pain and was injured. It's a pity because you know the importance of this player. I mean, PYS, you're going with 2-0, no Son, hopefully no heart attacks for any of the Chelsea fans tomorrow. It's going to be a blockbuster game. We're all looking forward to it. I mean, final word from you, PYS. Confident, yeah?
Yeah, I am very confident, which is interesting for me because I never usually am. But I just think, I mean, Son is out. Like, that's a big thing for me. I always think it's such a massive threat, and without that Son Kane link up, I think we can dominate the game. And I just take it back to the away game we played at Spurs in the league. Like, that was one of the most dominant, like, craziest displays I've seen from Chelsea this season. Like, we generally like split them open. There was so much space. I felt like every attack we had, we was going to score. And yeah, that was just such a great afternoon that day. So I think I can already already see the fans at the end of the game and the players walking over clapping. Like, yeah, I'm confident. And
Man's already picturing what's going to happen post-match.
yeah, I've got a good feeling. I've got a good feeling for this one.
Nah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I've got a good feeling as well. I'm thinking we're going to win too. And the only reason, well, not the only reason, but one of the big reason being is the Spurs are going to have to come out. They can't be just sitting back. They're going to have to come out. They didn't look good against us in the first leg. And now that they're going to have to force the play, they're going to be quite open at the back. And hopefully we can pick them out.
Suits us. It suits us. If we're on our game,
Yeah.
it suits us massively.
100%.
Because, you know,
100%.
one of our main problems is obviously breaking down deep blocks. So, and that's another reason, by the way, what, you know, you've said about Spurs coming out. It's another reason why I think Silva has to start if he's ready, because, like, when he's at the back, I just feel assured. I'm not sure. I'm not sure otherwise. I trust Rudiger, but when Silva's in that middle, commanding the back line, you know, winning those tackles, and yeah, it's just like, I feel
he makes the fans calm, calms things down.
Yeah, I'm just like, my attitude is like, yeah, come at us, you know, Rudiger and Silva, and just those two, just come at us because they're going to be ready. I know those two are going to be ready at least.
No, 100%, 100%. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this preview. Please smash the like button. We're only 30 likes away from 100 likes, so let's get those likes up to 100 straight away. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We'll be back for the watch along tomorrow, so make sure you're there for the watch along. And obviously, post match there will be the review out. If before that there is any other news, I'll probably drop a video, quick small video. So do check that out. Make sure you check out the latest on Ian Martson. That was what was going around in the last 24 hours as well, which is pinned to the comment section at the moment. So once this stream is over, do check that out. And we shall have PYS again sometime this month, and down the track as well is becoming a very much a crowd favorite in this particular channel. So we need to give the crowd what they want. This is what we do here. Kobina, great show, gents. Thank you so much, Kobina. You've been fantastic with all the comments as well. Bat night as well by me and everyone. Really, really good to see you all. Okay, until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.